Hi, YouTube. Check out the hair. It's gotten a little longer, but because it's kind of mullety, like the layers on the top are really short. It's more of a shag than it is a mullet. It's kind of grown out, so it's more of a shag now. But because of that, my hair looks really thin. So I usually wear extensions now. But I'm in my comfy settings right now. Comfy cozy. I'm actually gonna put on some music. It'll just be lo-fi, so it should, like... Bitch, I don't want to update it right now. Disagree. Leave me alone. Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Lo-fi.
You're gonna want to hear this.
Now there's an ad playing.
I want to feel things. I've been waiting for this moment.
Stories you can only dream.
Okay, let's see if that helped. Sometimes turning it off. There we go. No. Alright. I got some feelings, and I wanted to talk about them. So in my last video, and I just watched it, I watched my videos as a way to, like, look back on myself and remember who I am. Part of having dissociative identity disorder is forgetting who you are. And I have theories about why that is. I can get into that a little. You know, just go off the ADHD train, Libby. We're getting feelings out. So because I have dissociative identity disorder, I've always kind of felt this feeling, and I think people who have it can identify with this feeling of not knowing who you are or feeling that you're in the wrong body. It's a really weird type of dysphoria. When I was younger, I used to look in the mirror, like really look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like a dog who's become self-aware and they're staring at themselves in the mirror like, that's me? You know? I would just really look in the mirror, and it was just, it's just like a really weird experience. It's like body jumping, like you just, some spirit jumped into a body, and you're looking at yourself and you're like, that's not what I look like. That's not me. And I've always kind of felt like that. And the reason I think that happens, and this is my version of things, it could be different for other people, but for me, I feel that I'm experiencing my alter's experience. And because we're so enmeshed, because we're like trying to be one person again, like it's like my selves are trying to be one. And so there comes the residual effects of they know that they are not Libby. Like Goliath knows he is not Libby. Roman, he and I kind of get confused with each other because we're similar, but we are completely different people. And Zamanthia, she's a whole other... It's not funny to anyone else who's watching because you don't understand the inner jokes. But Zamanthia is a whole other story. She's done a lot that requires a lot of maintenance to repair. But she's a trauma holder, so I give her a lot of grace. And there's an ad. Great. I'm poor. I'm poor, guys. It played one song and then the fucking ad comes on. You know, and Samantha and I are totally different people. Like, she does things that I would never do. She says things that I would never say. She does not reflect on my character at all. But it's kind of like when you're dating someone and you're like roommates and you start taking on attributes of them and you start sounding like them, or like you're like mimicking them in a way, and it's just because you're so comfortable that like you become enmeshed in the external world. But in the inner world, that is happening because we share the headspace, and the headspace is in my headspace, it's a disc. And in that disc, for the longest time, we had like a white lawn chair, and whoever was sitting in the chair is whoever's in behind the eyes, in the body and like experiencing the body. And I also think for the longest time they weren't ever really in the body, because I distinctly remember what that experience was like of them taking over the body. Because I hogged the seat for so long. There were times when I would dissociate and I could feel myself leaving my body. Like, it felt like I was slipping out backwards, but I was still partially in. I would still be kind of connected, tethered to myself. But I never fully left the seat. And when I had my psychotic break, the first one that I can recall, I'll say that because I've had psychotic breaks in previous times, but didn't remember that I did, and would have conversations that I don't remember having. Similar symptoms that I have now, where I have like amnesia and stuff. But I had no idea that I had them because of the amnesia. So, and I didn't have people around me that know what it looks like. I didn't have that before. So now that I've had that with my family when I was living with them, they can tell me what I was doing and what I was saying and everything like that. And so in a way, I've always had this. It just, I didn't know. And I think that's really common, for people with DID to not know that they have it. And I also still, to this day, and it makes my system laugh at me, and they're laughing right now. You guys are so funny. I still feel imposter syndrome. I know. They're laughing. You can't hear it, but I hear it. I still don't believe that I have it. I still don't believe it sometimes. But I do have this disorder. I do have DID. I think I have DID OSD D1B, because I can communicate with my system. But since I've been on Depakote, my headspace has been so quiet, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It sucks, but like, it's good for me. Like, I have to keep taking it because it helps stave off the psychotic breaks. But every time I've had a psychotic break, my system comes in and they try to take care of the situation. But because their personalities are so starkly different, it's jarring. And I've also done things that are outside of my character, things that I would never do. And I also experienced a lot of ego deaths, like one after the other after the other. Imagine experiencing death 10 times a day, maybe more. That's not good for you. Please, oh, thank God. I'm just trying to be PC, you know? I really want these videos to be seen. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be known. I'm Libby, guys. I'm Libby. I'm 31 years old and I have all these disorders. I'm a person and I feel present. I've been feeling more present. Things trigger my alters to come out. They all have their own things. Like Roman, it's driving. He loves driving, so anytime I'm driving, he'll kind of creep in like a fucking weirdo, and he's like, I'm just gonna take it. And he takes the wheel, and he's just like, and then Goliath, it's just anytime I get overwhelmed with tasks, or like I have to do a task or a duty or like a chore that is like, if I've become overstimulated and I can't perform the chore myself, he'll step in and he just starts doing it for me. He doesn't have to, but that's what he likes to do. It's not slave labor, guys. He likes working. He's a very hardworking man. And every time he fronts, he really impresses people by how like sturdy and strong and willful that I am. He can really push me to my limits, and he does. He pushes me to my limits, physical limits, and pushes me because he cares about my physical well-being. It's basically like having a personal trainer in your headspace. Like, I love him so much. He keeps my body fit as much as he can, and he always feeds me. He always is like, if there's food around, he'll eat because I forget to eat. And Zamanthia, she is kind of stunted in growth right now, but she is really trying to change because she admits that she committed some acts of self-harm. And we're working with that with her because she's a trauma holder. She carries a lot of my trauma, and she shouldered a lot of verbal abuse, and she protected me when I felt scared or small, and she would just hold me inside and comfort me. And Diane, she's always there. She'd just pop her head in and checking on me all the time. She's like a big mother hen. I'm not, like, I don't know. These people are real to me, and they're real to my family here in Seattle. And I think my sister is also in the boat of believing me that I have this disorder. But I didn't know, guys. I didn't just decide one day to have this disorder for fun. Having psychosis happen, and then like a man is talking through a female's body and like has a different way that he holds his shoulders, and like the way his gait is different, the way he drags his cigarettes is different, the way he communicates with people is different. Like, I cannot pretend that experience, especially during psychosis. You can't pretend to be things during psychosis. You're in your most honest form, and it's like being really drunk. You just get really honest, some people do. It's like that. And so, I don't need a diagnosis to prove that I have this. And from what my sister has said, it has already been diagnosed when I was in the military. I don't have the documents. We could probably figure out a way to get them, but I don't have the documents. I don't even remember telling my sister about that. I don't remember. But she says that I told her at one point, and she believed me. And that's all I care about. That's all I care. That's all the people that I need to believe me. And one thing that really sucks, though, about having this disorder and all the other disorders is that it pushes people away, and that people get overstimulated or overwhelmed, or they think that I'm too much. And I've always been told that I'm too much. Since I was a kid, I felt like I'm too much. And people didn't like me in high school or middle school because I was too much. And you know what, guys? We're keeping it PG. What fingers am I holding up? I know that I'm a lot to handle. Some guy or woman or they will want to put up with me forever. And that is what I'm hoping for. I don't need a husband. I don't need a wife. I need friendship, true, honest friendship with some people that, like, are with me through this and won't leave or abandon me. And I will never leave or abandon me. Where I'm living now, because I'm not homeless anymore, this is all mine. And I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. You gotta be hard pressed to get me to leave this fucking house. This is mine. I don't even have to pay rent this month because of my low income. And then next month, my rent will be like $130, $120. I could pay that with the money that I got because I signed paperwork at the right time with the right people. I don't need to get haircuts anymore. I'm gonna let my hair grow out, but I'll keep this, the bangs and the, I can just maintain this by myself. I like the way it frames my face, and I'll keep doing that. But the rest of my hair is gonna grow out, and all the memories that I carry in my hair, I'll keep it. I'll keep the rest of the memories. And I'll hold you in my memories. You know who you are. The ones that left me. The ones that don't want to be around me anymore. I'll remember you. I wish I could see you again, but you know. Deuces. I'm sorry, I'm just really enjoying this song. 300 pages of medical history. 300 pages. That's why I got the benefits. It's not even just like that I'm homeless and disabled. It's that I was homeless and disabled. 300 pages proved that I am qualifying for disability. 300 pages of my medical history. She said the first 3 pages were enough to qualify. So, for all the people in my life who don't think I'm disabled by my disorder, who think that I'm just not working hard enough, 300 pages of medical history. They had to comb through my medical history to see if I qualified, if I was disabled. And they said the first 3 pages of my medical history was enough. I am disabled. And the people in my family who don't believe this and think that I'm not working hard enough and that I just am lazy, I have worked my ass off for 20 years. I don't know how to do math. 20 years? I have been nonstop trying to have a job. People don't want to hire you because you've had all these jobs. You hopped around so much. My resume is a list this big, guys. I've had every type of hat you can think of. Every type of hat. I've worked in a donut shop. I worked in a sex shop. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I worked at a spicy shop. I worked at a spicy juice store. Healthcare. I helped people die. I mean unalive. I've helped people unalive. I've done honorable work. I've done less than honorable work. I've been in the military. I tried everything to have a job and support myself and figure this life out. Only to move to Seattle and find out that I have a disorder, multiple disorders, that keep me from being able to have a job. I had a job that I enjoyed. I was happy there. And I got fired because I couldn't get another doctor's note, because I had a psychotic episode. I had a psychotic break, and it was witnessed by my family. It came out of nowhere. I didn't know that I had this disorder. I didn't know that this happened to me all the time. It has. I have evidence from my past relationships who had to put up with me, who had to love me through really hard times where I don't make sense. And they just loved me through it. And they tried to keep up with me. They tried to put up with me, but it was too much. I've had my ex, my most recent ex, he recorded me, and I just said this in my last video, but he recorded me and was trying to show me, something is wrong, Libby. This is the video of you and how you were acting. And it didn't click in my head at the time. It was like, why were you recording me? Why weren't you just listening to me? Because you didn't make sense, Libby. I didn't make sense. I didn't make sense. And I have worked in mental facilities and have witnessed people speaking in word salads and not making sense. But I thought that that was reserved for people who were withdrawing from drugs, from hard drugs, or people who were very unwell. And you know what? I sounded just like them. My parents were convinced that I was on methamphetamines. They thought I was doing drugs. Because I called them on the phone and made no sense. And they thought I was doing drugs. No. I have not once ever done drugs. I've done LSD one time. One time in my life. And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I don't recommend it to people. People find it and think, they might enjoy it. They might have a fun time doing it. Or, oh, it changes the way you see the world. Or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's true. It does change the way you see the world. And it's because it scrambles your mind. Scrambles it. And then you have to put yourself back together. And an ego death, when you live through it, it changes your perspective on things. So in a way, yes, it does change how you see the world, but it's a really rough way to do that. I have experienced those symptoms of doing LSD. I have experienced those symptoms without it. Just the chemistry that's in my brain as is. I've had ego deaths in an ambulance. I was dying and coming back, dying and coming back. My heart rate was going, and it was really weird and concerning. And I never did anything to cause it. It just happened. And now that I'm medicated, my headspace is quiet. I accept that. I still switch. I still have switches because my family tell me that they saw Roman, or they said they talked to Goliath, or, Zamanthia popped in for a little bit. But the switches are fewer and farther between. And the stretches of time where it's just me, and maybe we should journal to each other. Resounding yes. I don't know. I feel like we attract people who are like us, and maybe I'm just not ready for a relationship, and that's why I keep attracting people who aren't ready for a relationship. I don't know. I feel like I'm ready, or more so, I just feel like I'm lonely and I really miss human touch. I really miss human connection. It's been 4 years since my breakup, and I just want to feel special and loved, and I'm hoping that the medications I'm on keep me at a comfortable level and stave off psychosis long enough so that I can have a happy relationship. My views on marriage and children have changed. Um, I want to maintain my independence. So, being married while disabled, you lose a lot of your benefits. If I even can get on disability, I don't want to lose it. So, I probably won't get married. But to have a person in my life who wants to share life with me long term, that's really what I'm looking for. And they need to take care of me. Like, I can't have kids alone. I really can't. Kids are really stressful, and there are a lot of overstimulation, and it could trigger me to have psychosis, and I don't want to be a psychotic freak around my kids. I don't want to stress my partner out. And so, because of that heavy burden that I'm having to carry, it makes me not want to be married or have kids. I think it would be selfish, but like, I want to be loved. I just want to be loved, and I want a best friend. I mean, I have my best friend Lane, and we always say that we're going to grow old together. But it's different. She's platonic. We make jokes about how we like hooked up one time, but I think that was an expression of love, in hooking up that one time, but I think it was like we've seen each other at all ends, and it's just strengthened the bond between us that we were able to see each other one end to the other. But I don't think that, like, me and Lane could do that, like, long term. I feel like we mirror each other, and if I'm unwell, she's unwell. If she's unwell, I'm unwell. And I think it would just not be good. I need someone who's, like, really stable that I can, like, hold on to when I'm not. And it just feels like everyone my age is still not ready, which is really weird because usually people in their 30s settle down and, you know, or already settled down. And I feel like I'm basically a spinster. So I feel like being a spinster makes me less attractive. I don't know. Maybe that's just like some patriarchal bullshit that's creeping in my mind. I'm not damaged goods. I'm a person. Yeah, you're right, Libby. You're a person. That's right. I needed that reminder. Well, it's been 30 minutes, so I'll see you guys later. Don't forget, have a good fucking day, guys.